So, alright, different ideas. You want to find people that can share new and different ideas with you, as well as look at be able to look at your ideas differently and their ideas differently as well. So you should you should share your ideas with your group so they can give you feedback. That's kind of one of the reasons they're there, is to be able to provide you with feedback that is honest and strong and able to actually help you instead of just sit there and do absolutely nothing. Um, Also, you will be able to help other people with their ideas. Everyone, of course, is different. So, being able to share your input with other people can be very helpful to them as well as to you, because then you are able to see other people's input with your idea as well, because everyone has a different idea about how something should be done. And sometimes it's actually that collaboration and combining all of the different ideas together that really makes the goal be seen. And also, you should help and be helped with problems that you may encounter, other people may encounter. Because again, everyone's going to have a different viewpoint of what's happening. And some people are going to be able to attack it in a way that you didn't even think of. And that's why PLNs are very helpful, especially if you get into places or into ones that have different professions, I guess is the best way to say that. Because as teachers, we are problem solvers. um, but sometimes there's problems that even we cannot figure out completely on our own. So having another group of people that have different mindsets than us completely um, gauge our situation can really help us figure out what that problem solution may be. Moving on. So collaboration, you want to really work at collaboration. We, as teachers especially, collaborate a lot, and it's a good way to always expand that collaboration spectrum and get opinions from other people. So while collaborating with teachers in your school is very helpful, and of course they always are going to have ideas for you, getting a global collaboration network going can really help you in your classroom and help your students and all of that, because it is so important to be able to collaborate and get new ideas. Just a big thing is, don't be afraid to put your lessons and ideas out there and pull ideas from other people. That's how teachers work. We share ideas. We get ideas from other people. Sometimes people are gonna have better ways to teach something, as I previously said, than you are, and that's okay, because everyone approaches things in a different way, and that is one of like the coolest things about PLNs, is that you get to get that kind of collaboration where people are getting to put input in, and I mean, you can choose to accept it or not accept it. That's completely up to you, but just getting that input can be very helpful. The biggest thing with collaboration, though, is if you are pulling ideas from other people, do not forget to give credit where credit is due. Teachers, we know we don't get a lot of credit for a lot of the things we do, so if you take part of a lesson from someone, make sure that if someone else asks you where you got it, you tell them, "Oh, I got it from so and so off of this group that I'm in." Don't just take credit for it, because that's not fair to the person that originally created it. So just always make sure to give credit where credit is due. So a big thing about creating or joining a a professional learning network is joining online groups. So don't be afraid, as I've said, to join online communities. Social media in this case is going to be your best friend. So in today's day and age, we can go online and find any group we want. That's not always a great thing, but it can be very helpful. The biggest suggestion would be to use Facebook, use Twitter, use Instagram, LinkedIn, blogging, stuff like that to find groups to join. Check the group though before you join it, because it might not be with people that you want to be communicating and socializing with. And use social media, or using social media, excuse me, opens up a lot of new possibilities for PLNs. You get a lot of different new viewpoints that you might not get from just your own community. Because sometimes, especially in like smaller towns, like where I live, everyone kind of has the same opinion on things, and it's not great when you're trying to get like helpful feedback and be able to move on with things or get an idea of how to go, because you've probably already tried that idea and no one has anything else to be able to like, yeah, this works. I've tried it. I know because this attack method works. But being out there online on public or professional learning networks that are global, or even just in the United States that have teachers from all over the United States, can be very helpful, because we try things as teachers, so it's something that we just need to get used to, is using social media to connect with other teachers for ideas and help and all of that. So another big thing is be active in your PLN. You joined it because you felt like it was the right thing to do. You might want to just share your ideas and get feedback, or you might need help with something. So your PLN is there to help and support you. Don't just ignore it. Join in, be a part of it. If you need help, ask for help. That's why you're there, and that's why they're there. Help others in your group. So don't just always ask, but never give anything back. Make sure you are being an active participant and helping others when they need help, and you actually have like a way to help them. Engage the new people. I think this is my favorite thing, because everyone is new at some point in their life, whether it be a new school, a new job, new to a new, like completely new town, new country, anything like that. You are new once too, so don't just leave the new people out just because they're new, because you wouldn't have wanted that when you were new or when you had just joined this group. So be sure to include the new people that come into your group, and motivate the others in your group. Don't just be there and not say anything. So if someone comes in and goes, oh, I had like a job, not interview, but like someone came in and sat and watched me, and my principal came in and I got like really high ratings on my score sheets and all of that. Don't just be like, okay, cool. Like, be like, yeah, that's really great, good job. I'm sure you're gonna keep up all the hard work, or keep up all the hard work, because you can get through whatever hardship you may be going through. Don't just mull over it and pass over them, because someday you might need some motivation to get through things. So just keep in mind to motivate everyone else and be active in your PLNs. So there's a lot of what to do's when creating a PLN. In fact, if you look it up, that's about all you find is what to do when creating a PLN. But just like with everything, there's always some things that you should not do while you're creating your PLN. One of those would be don't spread yourself too thin. Just because there are a lot of groups out there does not mean you have to join every group that is out there. Join 1 or 2 groups. Maybe more if you can, but let's not max it out. Let's just stay where we are comfortable with being able to give information and be supportive and helpful, because sometimes you do just need time to yourself. And don't wear yourself out by joining too many groups. So don't join 15 groups just because there are 15 groups about one thing that you have in common with all of these people. You're gonna wear yourself out. I mean, you're working full time, or you're doing sports or whatever. Don't just join everything that you have something in common with, because you're not going to be able to keep up and manage all of that. You're going to just exhaust yourself trying, and you don't want to do that. So you don't have to join every group that's out there. A pretty good tip is don't say or post things you wouldn't say in your classroom. Or, in another sense, don't say or post anything you wouldn't want your mother or father or grandparent, aunt, uncle, whoever to read. So if you wouldn't say it to a family member or your class, don't say it in your group. Keep it professional. So don't just be like slamming everything in existence, because that's not going to go well, and it could get you kicked out of the group. And give you a bad rep in other groups, potentially, because a lot of these people are in more than one group sometimes. And then don't say things that you might come to regret later on. So don't, like, make fun of someone, because, again, you wouldn't like it if someone made fun of you. So just keep it professional. Don't be mean. Don't say things that you wouldn't say in front of your spouse, husband, or those are the same things. Sorry. Spouse, mother, grandmother, anyone like that, class. Because it can come back later on and bite you in the rear, and we don't want that to happen. Don't miss out on professional development. Keeping connections in your group can lead to some interesting professional development. As I previously mentioned, I work in a group that's doing I run professional development activities, actually. And some of the people that have come to us this summer found out about what we do through their professional learning networks and through things that other people have talked about. I know one lady, she actually researched a professional learning network that had what I do in common, and she decided that she wanted to come to us because it fit what she was teaching, and she wouldn't have found out about it even though she lived in the state of Alabama, and it's at the Space and Rocket Center. So she wouldn't have known unless she had looked into a group that did what she was teaching. So be active in your groups so you know what may be going on around you or even in other places. Don't be afraid to go, especially if you're connected globally. Don't be afraid to go if you can afford it. Global with professional development, because you never know what kind of cool things may be out there. And remember to keep up with your connections, so don't just let them go. Keep up with them. Connect with them. Make sure you can you still communicate with them. And don't forget what your PLN is for. It's to help you grow and develop. So make sure you're active, you're sharing ideas, and you're helping others in the group. Like everything else I've just said. So these are 2 articles. I've connected some, or posted some QR codes that go along with them. To get into these, you would need to log into your JSU account and view the full articles from there. One of them you're going to have to go to Eric and view it from there as well. These are very interesting articles about how PLNs can help in a classroom, how they can help you as a teacher, etc., things like that. I would very much recommend them. And last but certainly not least, so in a classroom or in a meeting, or in a professional development, what I would do is I would have them get into groups. And for a classroom, it would be more like on the classroom blog. They would work together and create a blog post about what they would potentially do as a leader of a PLN, how they would handle things, how they would help new people, things like that. In a more faculty meeting / professional development group, what I would do is have them physically create a Facebook, Twitter, they could do a blog if they wanted to, Instagram account, whatever, that would be a PLN, and they would have to work together to come up with the common interest of the group, and again, still how they would handle people being unprofessional and how they would help the new people that are joining the group feel included, what they would do if someone needed help, things like that. And then the professional development and faculty would present their ideas. The students in the class would post it onto a blog, a classroom blog, that the rest of the students could go and read and talk about amongst themselves. So that is a PLN.